In war times, you have to keep morale high. You have to call plays. You have to train people. You have to go through this time and time again. And I think right now, we're all just struggling to figure out what to do. What we wanted to do was to give leaders tools. Right? It's here. It's the week of the hard market hero launch. Can't wait, like Christmas almost. We're so excited by all of you that have signed up. I think it's so awesome to see people that, have been in our database for so long that maybe haven't interacted with kind of coming out of the woodwork. So I am just so excited to deliver this week. We have the all-star team of Bobby Fernandez, who came up with the name Hard Market Hero, Stephen Harrington, and Bobby, you don't know, might not know this. Bobby was California's CSR of the year. And she's an epic expert and trainer. So she's got a lot of diverse skills that I think are going to be awesome. She was specialized in commercial lines. So, this is not just meant for personal lines. We're going through this all over the place. Stephen Harrington, who is Chief Operating Officer of Cross Insurance, got sold about a year and a half ago, maybe, and led teams doing renewal reviews. Therese Potter, who was an operations and training manager at a multi-location agency in North Carolina that did non-standard and standard. So we have a diverse group, then we're going to be, as much as we can, all together doing these 3 sessions every week live. I'll be honest, sometimes we can't all make it due to travel schedules, but it was pretty handy. We got most of them out there. But the first one that we're going to do this week, so let's just walk through the dates and times if you're listening to this live. You do need to sign up, so you can register for $4.95 if you haven't at agencyperformancepartners.com. If you go ahead, you'll see a screen on the front, or just go into work with us, and it's the first box at the top. But you'll have to sign up, and then you'll sign up for the webinar. So you've got 3 options every week. You can literally sign up for as many as you would like. You can go to all 3 if you love it so much. Our first one that we're going to deliver is 10 a.m. Eastern Standard Time on the 16th. Our second one that's getting delivered is 4 p.m. Eastern Standard Time on the 17th. And then we have one at noon on the 18th. So those are the ones that we'll be able to go ahead and work on and work through. First session that we're doing is leadership. And I got really passionate about this section because I just firmly believe that agencies need a leader right now. The frontline team needs to be told what to do. There is this concept of a wartime CEO and peacetime CEO. We're at war right now. Peacetime CEO, you just got to keep the peace. That's what we've been dealing with. Maybe it didn't feel peaceful, but shoot, I know a lot of people that would love to go back to that. So in war times, you have to keep morale high. You have to call plays. You have to train people. You have to go through this time and time again. And I think right now, we're all just struggling to figure out what to do. What we wanted to do was to give leaders tools. The first one is to know where your team is on embracing change. So there's a couple steps of denial, frustration, depression, and then we find a way. So somewhere your team is in there. All of that can lead to a little bit of team burnout, though. But all indications show we are going to be in this for 2 to 5 years. There was over $18 billion plus claims last year alone. There's reinsurance issues. There's quiet quitting going on at carriers. Carriers are a bit challenging. People are rating on COVID. The economy is unstable. And things just cost a whole lot more. The bottom line is we're going to be here till 2025. So we need to, as leaders, be bracing for the long game. And these are things you're going to learn about in our first session. The hard part I think we're all going to have in this is that we are going to grow. By all indications, with a hard market, agencies grow revenue and premium, but we lose on PIF. And so we're going to go through some of the statistics and data points you're going to need to be watching. So when you come out of this hard market, you're not left with your pants down. It's not good. We don't want any pants down. We also want to make sure that as we're looking at new business, there's difficulty in placing new business. Where are we marketing? How are we finding our leads? How can we find the highest quality leads? And are we not going down rabbit holes? You are going to have to keep your sales team pumped and psyched too, because the battles with the underwriters can be rough right now. The other thing that we want agency leaders to look at is backlog. If you were backlogged before, guess what? It's going to be a bigger uphill battle, which is why we were preaching our time management for so long. Preaching. And agency owners sometimes just didn't adopt the ideas that we had. Well, right now, we have no time to be writing it down in a notepad to be typing it in. We have no time to be working outside of our job description. You've got virtual assistants and they're not being used. It's time that we kind of lay our foot down. Renewals are going to take longer. We're going to get more inbound calls, which means we need a leadership strategy, which means we have to adjust our process. The other thing that we have to do as leaders is keep our teams pumped and psyched. And I can't tell you enough. I mean, we get bitter beer face all the time on calls with clients. I was like, bitter beer face. I always just think to myself, I understand that this is tough, but we're not victims of everything. And I've coined the term now, rate will not be the boss of you. Rate will not be the boss of you. Do not let rate take away your sunshine. Do not let rate take away your day. This is not news you might be enjoying delivering to clients, but it's the news that's necessary. And just like a doctor has to give bad news, people want to jump into the plan and we need to be ready for that. There's not a lot of positivity. People are drained and they're desperately looking for a leader to guide them, which is what we're going to be doing in that first one. We also need to be thinking about how we're going to market to our current customers about rate increases. We need to be the leaders of communicating this, not behind the scenes. And I know some people say, well, if I put it out there, I'm like, if you put it out there, everybody's going to be getting it in the mail. I mean, you might as well put it out there. And who's better to hear it from you? Yes, it's much, much better to hear it from you. It's much, much better if you have videos and PDFs and blogs and things out there explaining it all. So that way, when your team gets the phone call, say, I think I saw something like that, where they can shoot it out to them. It is very, very, very critical. And we have to be pumping up our team and reminding them that they're hard market heroes. It can be super deflating, right? Super, super deflating. It doesn't have to be if we can be having fun on the inside, if you can take a few difficult client calls. We're going to go over everything from our recommended happy hour meeting in the morning, first thing, everyone share one good thing. It might sound silly, but people come in on time and you start your day positive, it's much harder to get negative. The metrics, we're going to go over those of what metrics you need to be sharing with your team. That you need to take some hard phone calls too. Don't go hiding in the corner. Tiering and firing clients, we're going to talk in depth over. Now is a time to tier clients. I know that there's mixed reviews on it. I just heard some of our sales calls where people are giving a little pushback on that of, well, we want to treat every client the same. I agree. In good times, that's awesome. I think about airlines all the time, right? When times are good and flights are on time, everybody gets treated the same based on the ticket that you purchase. The ticket that you purchased, remember. So if I have 17 policies and I've flown 17 times on Delta this year, Delta is going to treat me differently than somebody who's flown once. Now, I'm not saying that the other people get bad service because the people in coach are just as happy with Delta, right? What we have to be identifying, though, is when times are bad, when we're backlogged, who are they going to focus on first? That's got to come from leadership. There's no ifs, ands, or buts about it. And we have to be prepared to fire some clients. We need to give them a clear plan of who to remarket. That is the bottom line, because you cannot remarket everybody. And in bigger agencies, every producer might have a different threshold. The owners, one way, one agency way, one way. Okay. You got to check your own attitude. We're going to talk about that. Because if you walk around grumpy about rate or pissed off at a carrier, that's going to spread like wildfire. You're not going to do yourself any favors. We're going to talk about a recommended reward plan and incentive plan. In this market, people are going to work their butts off. They just are. And there's going to be a lot of uncertainty. Well, we want them to still feel like they're winning, and we're going to go over our recommended incentive plan, which is working in so many agencies right now that they might feel a little bit overwhelmed, but they know that there's money in there for them. It's also a huge time to build your team up. I've said this a million times. The best agents will be built in this market. Say it again. The best agents will be built in this here market. You know why? Because we're going to go ahead and have hard conversations. We're going to understand how those hardened conversations impact people. And you know what the best thing is? We're going to get more comfortable with them. For many, many times, I say this and people might not love this. We had it too good for a long time. And so if the best agents are going to be built in this market, let's take the opportunity to train and coach them, because otherwise we're going to break them and they're going to leave. And that's not something that anybody here wants. So let's go ahead and make sure we're building the best agents in this time frame. We want to go ahead and talk about role playing. Nobody loves it, but shoot, role play out those difficult conversations right now because it's going to make it them that much tougher. Carrier discount training. Bring in the carriers for lunch learns. Learn those discounts. Do not reshop if we can apply discounts. Learn telematics. I know a lot of people are pushed back on telematics. It's the way of the future. It's going to get quoted by Geico or Progressive if they go there. We might as well try as well. It's not our choice. There's so often where we think with people's back pockets, it's not our money. It's not our policy. Our job is to educate. That's like going into Starbucks and saying, well, I wouldn't drink almond milk because I'm allergic, so I'm not going to tell anybody that we have it. That's ridiculous. It's not our policy. Our job is to educate. And if people don't want it, that's fine. They know about it and they decline to discount. That is fine. You need to also always be hiring. In this market, we will have some vulnerability. Some people might leave. They might find other industries. If insurance is not your passion, this is not your Super Bowl. This is your worst nightmare. We encourage people to give people quiet time if your staff can stand it. And I say stand it just from the bandwidth of not every day is going to be created equal. We're going to go into the summertime. You might be shorter staffed, but quiet time will help get people to kind of just recorrect themselves. We have to embrace technology, portals, self-serve. Now is going to be the way to go to free us up to go get as proactive as we can with our team and with those clients that need us. These are some of the things we're going to cover all in 1 hour. 3 times this coming week. We hope you can join. If you have not registered, go to agencyperformancepartners.com, or you can click on the show notes or any of the social media channels. Register, get your spot. Can't make it? We have an add-on that you can buy the videos and watch them. But your team needs this and you need it too. So that's our stance. The next lesson that we're doing next week, just to foreshadow, is time management. How do we manage our time in a hard market? This is not our standard time management. This is hard market time management that we're going to be delivering. So if you've seen our time management stuff before, we have remodeled it and upgraded it just for this wonderful marketplace, because renewals are going to take longer and we can't apply the same strategies we did a year ago. It's just simply not going to work. Thank you guys so much if you've signed up already. If not, we look forward to welcoming you, and we will see you on the next podcast.